Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Cockreel. Thanks for joining us. Bloomington College is celebrating several significant expansion projects expected to improve student services and overall experience. We were on site for the ceremony, which highlighted updates already made as well as future projects planned for the school.
Normandale has experienced rapid growth during the past decade, increasing our student population by more than 50% over that period. As a result, we are one of the most crowded of the MNSCU campuses with an acute shortage of classrooms, faculty offices, student gathering spaces, and parking. We celebrate today 3 projects that will go a long way to relieving these shortages.
On Thursday, September 29th, representatives from Normandale Community College gathered students, staff, and community leaders to celebrate 3 major expansion projects. One feature was the opening of the newly remodeled Kopp Student Center. The center opened in late August and cost $14.5 million to update. Now the school is on to another endeavor.
We're very excited about the approval by the governor and the legislature of a $23 million academic partnership center, which, for those of you who are not familiar with it, is a very large classroom building to deal with some of our classroom shortages. It'll be 25 classrooms, 2 engineering labs, and faculty spaces, meeting spaces for students. That project is underway. Actually, they've already begun preliminary work on that project, and that will be concluded in January of 2013, so about 15 months.
Ground will be broken on the last leg of the expansion, the multi-level parking ramp, later this fall. This 725 stall parking ramp will be completed in July of 2012 and is expected to greatly improve accessibility to the school. Improvements like this are expected to bring Normandale Community College to a higher quality level for staff, students, and the community.
I am one of 3 members of my family that currently attends Normandale. Each of us can attest to the great opportunities that exist at Normandale. With the addition of the Kopp Student Center and the construction of the Academic Partnership Center and also the parking ramp, the future of Normandale is exciting.
Normandale Community College has an average of 10,000 students every year, making it a major asset to the city of Bloomington. Normandale is set to have $50 million worth of improvements to the campus by the year 2013. Those improvements are primarily funded by student fees. Bloomington is home to many beautiful bodies of water, and in an effort to keep them that way, city engineers carefully monitor the aquatic vegetation levels in area lakes. Bush Lake, located on the west side of Bloomington, is considered a gem of the metro area. The lake is home to several species of fish, a clean, safe beach environment, and newly reconstructed trail systems spanning 3/4 of the lake. But with the spread of 2 invasive aquatic species, city water specialists like Brian Greedle are on alert and carefully monitoring our lakes.
In Bush Lake we have Eurasian water milfoil and curly-leaf pondweed both identified, both invasive species. And milfoil was first identified in Bush Lake in 1990 and curly-leaf soon thereafter.
Invasive aquatic plants are introduced plants, meaning they did not originate in that area. They were brought in somehow, whether it be through human, Mother Nature, or an animal. They have adapted to living in, on, or next to the water and can grow both fully or partially submerged. When just trolling the shores of Bush Lake, Greedle found an invasive plant.
This is the Eurasian milfoil, and the best way to identify it is by pulling a leaflet off, and you count the leaflets, 1, 2, 3, and if there's 11 or more, then it's Eurasian water milfoil. A lot of times milfoil will be growing just along the bottom of the lake like this, and it shoots out different roots from underneath. So when you pull it up, there would be a bunch of roots hanging from underneath, and that's kind of how it spreads.
Greedle says that only by carefully monitoring infested lakes can the growth levels be determined.
We want to have a diverse native plant population in order to help stabilize the sediments and also provide a food source for wildlife. And when the invasives come in, they have a tendency to outcompete and basically drown out the native species, and then in turn we end up with just a couple species of plants in the lake.
Tests are performed on area lakes and ponds by the city's water resource specialist during the summer months, looking for not only invasive vegetation, but oxygen levels, water quality, and depth and clarity readings.
So this is what they call a Secchi disc, and we use it to measure water clarity. And so you lower it into the water until you can't see it anymore, and then pull it up so it's just barely visible, and then we measure the depth of the water clarity. And so just lower it into the water. We're already on the bottom here. It's not quite deep enough. So the water depth was approximately right here. And so being that each one of the little orange marks on the rope represents about 3 feet, we're sitting at, right now it's about 7.5 feet.
Greedall says that several area ponds as well as Normandale Lake and Southeast Anderson Lake are being monitored for water quality and invasive aquatic plants in addition to Bush Lake. The best way to prevent the human spread of invasive plants is to empty live wells, remove any visible mud, plants, or fish before transporting equipment, and dry anything that came in contact with water, including the boat, trailers, or any pets. In this week's In the Loop segment, we'll head over to the Mall of America and see what has progressed in the construction of the luxury Radisson Blu Hotel. Since the project's kickoff in late June, work has finished underground and began above the surface. Crews recently completed the 3-story underground parking garage on which the hotel will be built on top of. Now crews are working on decks that will connect the hotel to the mall by a skyway. Next month, crews will begin pouring the floors for the hotel's lobby area. A Mortenson representative tells us that construction is right on schedule and going smoothly. The Radisson Blu Hotel at the Mall of America will be attractive to both upscale shoppers as well as to business travelers looking for a luxury hotel close to the airport. The hotel will feature a full spa, health club, swimming pool, and light rail links to both airport terminals and to downtown Minneapolis. The In the Loop segment is meant to keep residents up to date on news and events happening within Bloomington's South Loop District. That's the area spanning from I-494 to Trunk Highway 77. Continue to tune in to Bloomington Today, where we'll keep you in the loop. And in other construction news, MnDOT is asking the question, are you roundabout ready? If not, they've got a solution for you. On Saturday, October 15th, join MnDOT representatives for a public information event specifically focusing on proper ways to maneuver roundabouts. The event runs from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Braemar Golf Course in Edina. This event comes after concerns were expressed regarding the 6 roundabouts that will be installed on the 169 I-494 frontage road system. There will be project information available, proper maneuver directions, and even a golf cart ready roundabout where residents can hop in and actually experience navigating through a roundabout. A few weeks ago on Bloomington Today, MnDOT Public Affairs Coordinator Bree McGee gave us some helpful tips on properly maneuvering a roundabout, with the most common mistakes being that roundabouts always move counterclockwise, so never drive in and go left in a roundabout. Also, keep in mind that people inside the roundabout have the right-of-way, and you must yield for them. If you missed that show on September 21st or would like to see any past Bloomington Today shows or other city productions, visit the city's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. Bloomington Civic Plaza will be extending normal business hours from now until the general election. Absentee voting will be available on Saturdays in October to provide additional opportunities for voters to cast a ballot in the general election who are unable to vote on Tuesday, November 8th. Civic Plaza will be the polling place for absentee ballots every Saturday in October, as well as the first Saturday in November from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will also be additional voting hours on Monday, November 7th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Residents who will be voting on November 8th during the general election must be registered by October 18th at 5 p.m. Applications can be picked up at Civic Plaza and must contain the original signatures. If a resident is registering by mail for the first time in Minnesota, he or she will need to bring identification to the polling place on the day of the election. And if you're interested in learning more about the candidates in this year's general election, you may want to attend the upcoming candidate forums hosted by the Bloomington League of Women Voters. On Tuesday, October 11th, stop by Civic Plaza City Council chambers at 6:15 p.m. to view the City Council Candidate Forum. School board candidates will be questioned at 8 p.m. To see a complete list of candidates, sample ballots, and more, you can find all that information by logging onto the city's website. It's now time for a short break. When we come back, we'll be joined by a guest who for years has helped organize an annual Bloomington event you or your company may want to become involved with. Stay right here.
There's been a serious accident in Greenwich Village on West 10th Street. 12 firefighters have been injured. 5 are reported to be in serious condition and are hospitalized. The fire captain on scene said they were responding to a call that proved to be a false alarm. But looking at the injuries and all the damages, the captain told this reporter there's really no such thing as a false alarm. Your local fire department protects you. Take it seriously.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now joined by Maxine Pegors. Maxine has been on the City of Bloomington's Disability Employment Awareness Month Planning Committee for many years now. Welcome, Maxine. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much. I'm pleased to be here.
Well, in the City of Bloomington, providing ample job opportunities to all residents is very important. Why don't you give us a bit of background regarding disability employment?
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
And it's such an honor to be a volunteer in a city like Bloomington, where this city, for its size and for its stature, nationwide, is really ahead of the game and has been for many, many years. Due to the efforts of volunteers like Bob Peters and many others that have been on the forefront of this effort and this movement, really. Basically, historically, this started back in the 80s. So this started before anyone else was really doing anything. On a national level, this started actually back in 1945 when Congress declared the first week of October as National Employ the Physically Handicapped Week. Okay. Later, President Harry Truman designated the President's Committee on the Employment of People with Disabilities to carry out the observance, and then in 1962 the word physically was removed just to acknowledge that it really involves all people with disabilities.
Okay.
And then from 1988 on, Congress expanded the week to a full month and changed the name to Disability Awareness Month, and then eventually it evolved to its current name, which is National Disability Employment Awareness Month. So it is both a national as well as a local effort. And so we were very excited last night to be at the City Council meeting when we received the Mayor's proclamation declaring this to be Disability Employment Awareness Month in the City of Bloomington to observe special efforts on the part of employers to provide opportunities for people with disabilities. And so actually historically here in Bloomington, The month has been observed in a number of ways. We have held workshops for people with disabilities and tried to bring some tools to them, workshops about self-advocacy, and interviewing skills, resume writing skills, linking them to resources in the community. We have also held job fairs in the past. This year we're doing something a little bit different, and we're going to get into that in a little bit.
Well, perfect. Well, you know, it does seem like Bloomington is right there with the curve, if not ahead of it. Well, let's talk now about the actual workshop. It's basically a workshop that's urging people to open their minds and open their doors, and this was created several years ago to promote the employment of disabled people. Tell us a bit about this year's event.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's a great opportunity for employers to come in and get some good tools and resources for how to get started if they're not really sure, you know, how do I actually go about employing someone with a disability? I am myself a small business person. I don't have employees, but if I did, you know, I might feel a little hesitant, you know, how do I actually get started with this? So our Open Your Mind, Open Your Door Disability Employment Workshop will be on October 26th. It starts right away at 8:30 a.m. here at Civic Plaza. And there is information about this event on the city website, which again, we just feel so honored to provide this event and to be volunteers for a city that takes care of its citizens so very, very well. We have a keynote speaker, the VP of Diversity from Wells Fargo, wow. Philomena Morrissey-Sater, who has just been really a leader in this area for many years. And we have a technical expert panel, people from the provider side who actually worked with individuals in employment, as well as a number of employers who will come and tell the success stories of how they've employed people with disabilities here in Bloomington. So we're very excited.
Wonderful. So basically this is a resource not necessarily for the disabled person that may be looking for a job, but for how employers can seek out people that are disabled to work for them.
Exactly. This is a great resource event for employers, and so there will be information provided on how this has worked for other employers, kind of from the viewpoint of what are the technical aspects of employing someone, what are the things that employers need to know, and then of course, you know, how can they get started with actually linking with some of those resources.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, as you had said, you know, there will be employers there who have worked with different disabled people in the past, telling their success stories. Yes. And what a great way to get more people involved. But have, you know, being on the board for 8 years, any past success stories that ring a bell in your mind and that have stuck with you?
Oh, I have many favorites. And you know, some of the best ones are people that have won our employer award, and we are actually a subcommittee of the Human Rights Commission. Okay. And so we need to say that. That is important. That's our link to the city, actually. And so every year the committee presents an employer award that recognizes employers in the community here in Bloomington who have made special efforts to employ individuals with disabilities. So over the years, I've kept some of the letters where people have nominated employers for those awards. And so there's many wonderful stories. One of my favorites is from REI, you know, one of our great retail stores here in Bloomington. Mm-hmm. Very successful stores. I think they're in the top 5 in the country for their brand. And they have a team of, I believe it's around 5 individuals that have worked in the store going back 15, 20 years. Wow. That come in every day and provide stocking. Okay. And so these people are a really important part of the backbone of the store. Mm-hmm. And this letter was written by the letter was written by the manager of the store, who has since retired, but just said that what an opportunity to work with successful people. It felt like the right thing to do, but it was absolutely a wonderful solution for the store. Wow. So it moved far beyond feeling like, you know, this is something to do for society. It was actually the appreciation that they brought to the workplace and to the team, and their dedication to getting the work done was just unsurpassed.
Wow.
And she said in here, the spirit of the entire REI staff is uplifted by their presence. So that was one. Another one was ABM Janitorial Services, and they have about 15 workers from LifeWorks, one of our local providers, and they come in Monday through Sunday, early morning to late evening. They wash windows, they vacuum, they clean bathrooms. You know, these are not, you know, glamorous jobs, but they're important work. You know, it's important work for the airport, and it's important work for the workers because they're taking care of their families, they're living independently, you know, they're making a living there. And so...
And they're jobs that need to get done.
Absolutely.
You know, one way or another. Well, how can someone, a business, small business, large business, sign up for this? Is there a deadline to attend the October workshop?
The deadline is October 21st.
Okay.
Yep, and the information is on the city website. I think that if you search on the word disability, it'll come up and all the information is there.
Wonderful. Well, we'd like to thank Maxine Pigors for being with us today. Again, if you want any more information about the disability workshop that we will be having here at Civic Plaza, visit the city's website and keyword search disability. It's now time for a short break. We'll be right back.
There comes a time in life when you need government information,
and you just don't know which way to turn.
Well, there's a place you can go to put an end to your frustration.
It's a site that everyone should learn.
USA.gov.
Find your Social Security benefits online.
USA.gov.
Our list of jobs will put you on cloud nine.
USA.gov.
Shop auctions for a used minivan anytime.
USA.gov.
You can apply for a student loan.
USA.gov.
Get energy saving tips for your home.
USA.gov.
So great you might just get carpal tunnel syndrome.
It's government made easy for the people. USA.gov. For the people. USA.gov.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. Gather your families and neighbors and join city staff to celebrate National Fire Prevention Week, running from October 9th to the 15th. This year's theme is Protect Your Family from Fire. All 6 of Bloomington's fire stations will be hosting open houses on Saturday, October 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Highlights of this year's fire prevention open houses include the Bloomington Bomb Squad, canine units, smoke detector raffles, car seat inspections by appointment, and so much more. There will also be free t-shirts, coloring books, and temporary tattoos for the kids. Firefighter Tom Sharop offers more reasons residents should attend an open house like this.
You know, it's a very community-based town we live in, and firefighters are all residents of the city, just like the residents who are coming to our events are. So we're all neighbors, friends, get to learn the equipment that the city has. You know, we are very well equipped in the city of Bloomington for fire equipment stations.
To find out which events will be at what station, log on to the city's website, keyword search Fire Week to see a full list of events and locations. City Public Works staff, fire and police personnel will be at various stations to answer questions and talk to patrons about the importance of fire prevention. And in other fire safety news, one city employee is being honored for his exceptional emergency management contribution. A congratulations is in order for Bloomington's Fire Chief and Emergency Management Director, Yuli Seal. He was honored with the prestigious President's Award from the Association of Minnesota Emergency Managers at the annual training conference in late September. Association president says Chief Seal was cited for his selfless dedication to emergency management and for his positive influence on others. Fire chief since 1986 and emergency management director since 2007, Chief Seal has demonstrated his wide range of knowledge and skills in fire services and is responsible for significant advancements in Bloomington's overall emergency preparedness. To view the full press release on Chief Seal's accomplishment, visit the city's website. Click on Media Releases under the News and Happenings tab. Congrats again to Chief Seal. While gardening season is starting to wind down, Bloomington Public Health is offering residents 2 free workshops to help better their plants for next season. The first of the 2 workshops will focus on vegetables and common problems gardeners face during the season, whether it's wilted, shriveled squash, black tomatoes, ants in your plants, and so forth. On Tuesday, October 11th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Civic Plaza, join other gardeners for What's Happening to My Veggies. A 40-year gardening veteran will teach you how to prepare your garden for next season using proper soil, weed control, optimal plant placement, and fertilizer. The next workshop, Got a Garden, Now What?, will be held on Thursday, October 27th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at St. Stephen's Lutheran Church in Bloomington. This workshop focuses on planning your garden for sustainability and future success once you've already established a garden. Prior registration is required for both fall garden education courses. Log on to the city's website, keyword search Garden Workshop. There you can download the flyer and get registered for one or both of the workshops. And that's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. To check out past Bloomington Today shows or other city productions, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't your thing, sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent right to your email or cell phone. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockerill. Thanks so much for joining us.